You know, when we think about cancer, we usually picture this one bad guy, right? A single rogue cell that's just multiplying like crazy. But what if I told you that's completely wrong? What if the most dangerous tumors aren't lone wolves at all, but are actually masterminds building a whole criminal empire inside our bodies? I mean, it's a huge question, isn't it? How do they get so ridiculously powerful? How do they manage to grow so fast, ignore our best treatments, and just take over? It's been a massive puzzle for scientists.
Well, it turns out the answer has been hiding in plain sight. Their real strength doesn't just come from within.
That's right. They corrupt their neighbors. They literally turn healthy, everyday cells into accomplices that help them grow and spread. And today, we're going to be the detectives. We are going to uncover exactly how this cellular heist goes down.
Okay, let's dive right in. We're looking at the scene of the crime, what scientists call the tumor microenvironment. And you've got to understand, this isn't just a random jumble of cells. It's more like a complex, bustling city neighborhood. And in this cellular city, the castor cells have a favorite target they like to persuade. These are normal, healthy cells called fibroblasts. But once they get corrupted, they get a new name: Cancer-Associated Fibroblasts, or CAFs. And these guys become the ultimate henchmen. They're the construction crew, the bodyguards, the supply chain, the whole shebang all rolled into one. They've totally flipped to the dark side.
And that's the central mystery, right? What exactly is the secret handshake? What's the bribe that convinces a perfectly good cell to betray the body and start working for the tumor?
So let's get to the first piece of evidence the scientists uncovered. They basically set up a stakeout, watching these cancer cells and fibroblasts interacting in the lab, and they witnessed a crime happening in real time.
They saw that cancer cells physically hand something over to their neighbors. Now, this wasn't just a chemical signal, like sending a text message. No, this was a physical delivery, a direct handoff.
So what was being transferred? Something incredibly valuable. The cancer cells were handing over their own mitochondria, the literal power plants of the cell. Think about that. They weren't just sending a message, they were exporting their entire energy infrastructure.
But how? How does a heist like this even happen? You can't just move an entire power plant from one cell to another. You can't just mail it. You'd need some kind of specialized secret delivery route.
And that's exactly what they found. The transfer happens through these incredibly thin, almost invisible bridges called, get this, tunneling nanotubes, or TNTs for short. They're basically secret tunnels that connect the inside of the cancer cell directly to the fibroblast.
And check out how deliberate this process is. First, the cancer cell sends out one of these little nanotubes, kind of like a probe. Second, it physically docks with the fibroblast, forming a secure connection. And third, the mitochondria are actively shuttled across the bridge. This is not random. It's a calculated, engineered transfer.
So, the heist is complete. What's the aftermath? What happens to that normal fibroblast after it gets this gift of stolen power plants?
The transformation is just stunning. It's night and day. Before, you have a normal fibroblast doing its job, keeping the tissue healthy. After, it becomes this completely reprogrammed, supercharged accomplice. It starts dividing faster, pumping out more energy, and this is the critical part, it starts secreting this chemical cocktail that acts like fertilizer for the cancer cells, helping them grow and invade.
And the data? Well, it speaks for itself. When you grow cancer cells alone, you get a certain amount of growth. Okay, add in normal fibroblasts and you see a small boost. But when you add in those fibroblasts that have received the mitochondria, these mitocafs, boom, the cancer's growth just goes through the roof. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
Okay, so let's review the case file. We know what's being transferred, the mitochondria. We know how, through nanotubes, and we know why, to build a support system for the tumor. But who's the ringleader? Who is the molecular mastermind orchestrating this entire operation? The investigation led them to a single protein, MIRO2. You can think of MIRO2 as the traffic controller. It's the one that physically grabs the mitochondria and puts them on the nanotube express train heading for the fibroblast. And guess where they found the most MIRO2? Right at the leading edge of the tumor, the exact place where the cancer is being most aggressive, pushing into new territory and recruiting its neighbors. I mean, that's exactly where you'd station your chief recruitment officer, right? The connection is so direct. This is the clincher.
When the scientists used genetic tools to get rid of MIO2 in the cancer cells, the entire transfer operation just stopped. It ground to a halt. You take out the mastermind and the whole conspiracy falls apart.
So if this one protein, MURO2, is the key, what does this all mean for actually fighting cancer? This is where this research gets incredibly exciting. This is the real payoff. In experiments with mice, cancer cells with MURO2 formed large tumors, just as you'd expect. But, and this is amazing, when they used cancer cells that were missing MURO2, the cells just couldn't form significant tumors. By taking away their ability to recruit help, the cancer cells were left isolated, weak, and unable to build their fortress.
So let's put it all together. We've cracked a major case. Cancer cells are social criminals, corrupting their neighbors by giving them stolen power plants. They use secret tunnels to do it, and a protein called MIRO2 is calling all the shots. And this discovery points to a brand new strategy. Instead of just attacking the tumor head-on, maybe we can dismantle its support network and cut its supply lines.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If our cells have figured out how to do this, what other secret conversations are they having? What other hidden deals and alliances are happening between our cells every single second? This research opens a window into a hidden world inside all of us.